When I'm talking to groups, teams, organizations around the world and asking them about the experience of organizational life and leadership, invariably we talk about change, volatility, things that are shifting rapidly and a lot of uncertainty. And I ask the question, who thinks it's going to settle down? And generally I get laughter, because nobody expects the world to settle down in any real sense. So what we're dealing with in leadership and change is rapid movement and this idea of emergence, of things coming up in an unexpected fashion. And I believe the last couple of years we can certainly see that in action. So I've been working with QUT to develop a change and leadership coaching model that accommodates the way in which the society is shifting rapidly and we're experiencing things that we never expected. It's called the eFire mindset and model. It's a coaching model, but the mindset is just as important, and the mindset has to suit the nature of the situation that we're in. And curiosity is at the center of that mindset. In leadership, often we're expected when we're appointed into leadership roles to know the answer to things and to have good ideas and ways forward. In the environments that we live in, this is not always the case. The leader is not always the best positioned to have all the answers. And the idea of curiosity is for the leader to let go of knowing and to be open-minded to what's possible and to engage with collaboration and optimism with what is going to happen in the future and to bring people together. This is the model. Remember, the model and the mindset together is what makes the power. You can see it's in the form of an artist's palette, because leadership coaching, where leaders and people around them and leadership comes in lots of different forms, they want to sit down and have a conversation and create some new approaches that are going to get them into a better position tomorrow than they were in today. So we're not trying to look for full solutions often. We're looking ahead, we're looking at different horizons and trying to improve the situation, understanding that tomorrow things might be different again. So let's have a look at the model. You say an artist's palette. You can see in the middle, you have energy. This is the center of the model. Energy from values, purpose, and relationships. When things fall over, this is where we come back to. This drives organizations, it drives teams, it drives individuals, and we're noticing energy all the time, being curious about the levels of energy, positive, negative, whatever it is, we're mindful of the energy. When we've had a look at energy and got a sense of who we are, the first place to go is usually framing, which means we frame for a deep intention. And sometimes we talk about Dr. Tony Grant, the late Dr. Tony Grant from Sydney University, talked about having a fuzzy vision. So we're not trying to get absolutely certain where we want to be, but we want to get a sense of direction. So framing for intention, creative tension between where we are and where we want to be. And there are a lot of tensions in organizational life, which the eFire model plays with. And boundaries, we need to know what is the field we're playing in, understanding that those boundaries we set are permeable and are likely to change. With curiosity, the center of the mindset. So our framing, very important. Once we've got that sense and we've had the conversations to get a sense of where we're going, let's do a process of inquiry. Inquire through systemic exploration of multiple perspectives. Another center of eFire is this idea of multiple perspectives. Even listening to this, every person that watches and listens to this video will have a different reaction, ranging from wild enthusiasm to instant dismissal. So we've got to draw in the diverse perspectives around the issue that we've set for ourselves and really explore it systematically and systemically, looking at the interrelationships of different parts of the organization. And if we're looking for an example, a team issue such as team motivation, imagine you're a team leader that's got a little bit lost with your team, they become complacent, they've lost motivation. You want to have the exploration through conversations, maybe a survey, whatever it is, looking outside the team, asking what other views there are of it. So that's our inquiry. When we've got a sense, after deep exploration, that we know really what the landscape looks like, let's reflect on exciting possibilities using strengths and resources. And this comes from positive psychology, strength-based change. We want to look at what we've got, not what we don't have, because it's easy when we're in a sense of overwhelm and anxiety to focus on the negative. Once we do that, we lose our focus. We want to be in a positive state of mind, even a playful state of mind, to get the best creative and innovative possibilities using what we have. And of course, opening up what we perhaps, after we sense what we don't have, of looking at creative ways of drawing in resources. And at this stage, we're starting to plan and look for actions that will take us closer to where we want to go. The final of the four here is experimentation and execute. Expericution, we could call that. This is where we experiment and execute for maximum impact through intentional action. And there's a lovely paradox here. As leaders, we have to be confident about execution, which is very final, particularly for people, but it's a point where we decide that we know where we're going, and we say to people, okay, this is the decision, is everybody understanding this? This is what we're going to do. Understanding at the same time that there's some likelihood that something's going to crop up that's going to make our lovely plan a complete mess. So we know with our execution that it's an experimentation. It's done with a sense of, well, we're going to try this to see what happens, but we are going to be sure about doing it. So there's a tentative assertiveness going on in the mix. Now, at any point, with our come back to our team motivation here, once we've done a little bit of working around, we might try some stuff. We might introduce some team coaching, we might introduce some new incentives, whatever it is. We try some stuff, see if it works. If it doesn't, we come back and we try something else. So this is a fluid model. And let's look at how this works. It might be by the time we get around here in the model, and we come back to our central purpose and our relationships, and we've done our inquiry, we've looked at this, we actually find that the original issue, and we're talking about motivation, might be something completely different. It might be to do with the external environment. It might be to do with anything. We don't know what that is until we've been around the model. So we don't have to even go in the clockwise direction. You can actually move anywhere you like, and you can start anywhere you like, because these issues and the nature of them are such that they don't have a natural linear flow that's going to work every time, but there is a certain tendency for us to move in this direction. Always standing firm with our values, our purpose, and our critical resonant relationships. And this model draws on the work of Richard Byatzis of intentional change theory, as well as the GROW model from Sir John Whitmore, of being grounded in research and practice, but they're all coming back to the fact that this energy center is really important. And you'll notice from this position, you can flex. And if resistance is coming at you, you can allow it to go, but come back to your central purpose. And move fluidly, and don't be lonely in the middle. Bring friends. This is a collaborative practice. The eFire mindset and model is around collaboration. It's not all about a leader, it's about the practice of leadership and the practice of teaming. It's a very fluid and dynamic practice. So I'd encourage you, as you're learning about eFire, is behind the scenes there's more material. Each of these segments has a series of questions that can help you as to understand and to work a little bit in your practice. So take a real issue, have a look at the questions, and start to play, but do it in groups, do it with a friend. It's a collaborative practice. So that is the eFire mindset and model.